Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was a very controversial title, to say the least. This was kind of a do or die release for the Call of Duty franchise after that abysmal launch that Modern Warfare 3 had last year. In my opinion, Call of Duty has been on a downward spiral ever since Modern Warfare 2019. Of course, some releases before that were controversial, but compared to what we've gotten in recent years, things like Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, those games like Call of Duty Ghosts, things like that, they're not as bad as something like Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2, the new ones I'm referring to, obviously. So yeah, in my opinion, Modern Warfare 2019 was the last really good COD. I mean, it introduced us to Warzone, had pretty good multiplayer, had a great campaign. Modern Warfare 2019 was actually pretty good, but basically everything since then in the 2020s has either been meh or just bad. I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of people here when I say this as well, but I feel like that we are moving away from the Warzone era. I do think Warzone will still be around in the years moving forward. I think that the hype and the buzz around it is very clearly dwindling, not saying it doesn't have a player base, but I mean, it's not going to be the one thing that Call of Duty can rely on for it to carry its franchise. And that's where Black Ops 6 comes in, because everything we saw of this game before it came out pointed to Call of Duty returning to its roots. It looked like they focused more on the campaign, more on the multiplayer, and more on the zombies aspects rather than trying to tie this game into Warzone. And right now, there are a ton of mixed opinions floating around on the internet, so I want to give you guys a clear shot opinion of somebody who's played about 40 hours of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 since it's released. That's why this review is coming out about a week later, because I like to actually put time and spend time in these games before I review them. I'm not paid by any company. I'm just a normal gamer like you guys. Is Black Ops 6 worth your money? Let's go ahead and talk about it. At the end of this video, this game will receive a score out of 10, and I'm going to go ahead and put up what my scores mean, okay? Because that can be pretty subjective for a lot of people. So these are what my scores mean to me, okay? So yeah, before we get into it, also I would like to say this: I'm going to be looking at each section of this game, okay? So I'm going to be looking at campaign, multiplayer, and zombies, and I'm going to be giving each of these a score out of 10 as well, because it's pretty important. I mean, I feel like at this point, three types of Call of Duty players: the person who plays it for the campaign, the zombies player, and the multiplayer player. All right, so I'm all three of those, but some of you guys might be interested in one of the modes, so I'm going to score each of those out of 10 as well. Once again, same rankings that I just showed up on screen. So first things first, we're going to talk about zombies, because this is what interested me the most, okay? I have been a part of Call of Duty Zombies for such a long time. I've been playing this mode since I was a kid, man. This is a great mode. Now, peak Black Ops Zombies, in my opinion. Okay, Black Ops Zombies is different from everything else. Peak Black Ops Zombies is like Black Ops 1 to like Black Ops 3, in my opinion. That is like peak zombies. We get Zombies Chronicles and everything with Black Ops 3, and of course all the classic maps in Black Ops 1 and 2. Okay, that's like the best zombies experience without a doubt. Alright, and then you kind of have the lower echelon of Black Ops Zombies, the ones that the fans don't really like that much, and that's going to be Black Ops 4 and Cold War. Now, both of these were kind of decent in my opinion, but I do think that they missed the mark and they do not hold up to the standard of like Black Ops 1 through 3 without a doubt. Alright, and you know, now we have a new edition with Black Ops 6. So where does Black Ops 6 Zombies fall in all of this? So let's go ahead and talk about the maps first, okay? So obviously there's a lot of maps to come in Black Ops 6. So we're going to talk about Liberty Falls and Terminus, because those are the only two out right now. Liberty Falls is the one I want to talk about first here. Liberty Falls surprised me, man. When they showed off this map, it looked super wonky. It didn't look bad by any means, but it just was very off-putting to see things like armor plates scattered all across the ground, and health bars above zombies, and the sky is, you know, bright blue, and it just looked like Warzone zombies. That's what a lot of people said when they saw Liberty Falls, and that's what I thought as well too, because the showcase for it kind of just threw me off. But I'm not gonna lie, after playing a ton of zombies, Liberty Falls is really good. It's a really good and fun map, okay? I like Liberty Falls a lot. It's super simple. I'm not saying that this is the greatest map of all time. I would compare this to something like Kino der Toten, or like town from Black Ops 2. You know, it's one of those simple maps that's straightforward, but there's a ton of small Easter eggs here. You know, there's music Easter eggs, and there's Easter eggs to get like a secret perk, or there's like vending machines you can punch to get power-ups. Like it's got that zombies feel. And there is a main Easter egg here as well. It's not that hard to do, and it is great for beginning players. That is what I love about this map the most. I think it is really accessible to new players and can really teach them the basics of zombies, because I feel like with this game we're going to see a lot of new zombies players getting on board, and I think Liberty Falls is a great map for these players, and I've been having a ton of fun on it. It's really fun to go for high rounds. It's still challenging. It's not super easy in my opinion, and I do like the layout of it. You can train zombies basically anywhere on this map. I like how open it is. I like the size of it. This is a great first map, and it's a great map for beginning players. I would say this is probably a B tier map. Now let's go ahead and talk about Terminus. Terminus is really, really interesting, man. This is probably one of the best maps we have gotten out of Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies in the 2020s, alright? Not saying this is better than anything from like BO3, BO2, BO1, not saying that, but this is better than anything we got in Cold War, in my opinion. This map is incredible. This is a great, great map. The Easter egg is super sick. The boss fight is crazy. It's a really well designed map as well. The wonder weapon is super fun, and there is a cast of characters which I love to see. This it's a little different how it works, but there is like a core cast of characters for this map. You got the boss zombies, the elites, whatever you want to call them. There's a new mechanic with the boats where you can go to different islands. It's really cool, and I love this map a lot. And I really like how this map is designed also, because it is super fun to just chill and go for high rounds on as well. Because it feels like open yet narrow at the same time, and there's just a lot of space to train. And it really feels like they kind of optimized these maps for people who are experienced with zombies, and they made it learnable for new players as well. There's a lot of space to train on these maps, and I like it. It feels really, really optimized for the player. Overall, both these maps are really good, and I'm going to give Terminus, I think Terminus is like an A tier map. I'm not going to lie, this is like an A tier map, and this is the best map we've seen from Call of Duty Zombies in the 2020s. Now let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Obviously, a lot of people are not happy with the fact that they are bringing over mechanics from Cold War, like the salvage, the armor. And that's why people joke and call this Warzone Zombies. You got health bars above the zombies. First things first, I want to talk about the health bars. As you can see in my gameplay here, I literally just turned them off. That instantly made it feel, more OG, if you want to call it that. And I personally prefer damage numbers and health bars off. You can run whatever you want. It is helpful though for seeing like boss health, for example. It is really helpful for seeing elite zombie health, and it is kind of like a quality of life change that I'm not really opposed to. I just personally don't like it. I don't think it's bad at all. The salvage and the armor plates and basically all of the Cold War mechanics that are in this game are actually optimized pretty well. I feel like that they took a lot of the Cold War Zombies mechanics that people didn't like, and they listened and they changed some things, and I like the way that they implemented it into this game. And they also, brought back things like Gobblegums from Black Ops 3. You got your Perkaholics, all of those, dude. They're all in here. There's no Liquid Diviniums. Instead, you get Gobblegums by just leveling up. It's basically the same thing, just without the loot box mechanics. I think it's great. To be honest, this zombies mode feels like a blend of everything people liked from Cold War, because there were things people liked. It feels like everything people liked from Cold War meshed with Black Ops 3 Zombies, and I'm here for it. I'm super, super here for it, man, because it feels like a breath of fresh air. It would be great to see them just copy and paste the old Zombies formula from like Black Ops 3 into this game, but I do like that they are innovating and they are expanding on ideas, because that is ultimately what's going to bring on new players and what's going to keep the game fresh. I do like that a lot. At its core, Black Ops 6 Zombies feels like OG Zombies. It has that Black Ops Zombies feel, and that was the most important thing to me. And I'm so glad that they were able to implement all these new ideas and new mechanics in a safe way that still makes it feel like Black Ops 6 Zombies. We're getting original maps, original characters. We're not really relying too much on nostalgia. I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. And I do have one complaint that I want to talk about. This is one downside, okay? Now, yes, this is a little bit more of a forgiving zombies experience, in my opinion. However, it's not a complete cakewalk like Cold War. Cold War was pretty brain dead easy, in my opinion. This game is not as challenging as other Black Ops Zombies games. You know, in other Black Ops Zombies games, the zombies themselves were stronger. And in this game, there's a lot more zombies on your screen, but they hit a lot less harder. But they are faster. You can find yourself trapped in situations, but there are a lot of ways to get out. So once you figure out how to navigate the different upgrades and everything, it gets pretty easy. But you still kind of gotta micromanage and stay on top of it. And because upgrades play such a big role in this game, it makes, you know, getting to high rounds pretty upgrade and level dependent. You know, you got to upgrade your augments and everything, but the augments aren't affected by your account level and your prestige. So it's kind of like every single run while you're researching augments, you're kind of getting stronger. So that does add a plus. It adds like a new like roguelike feel almost to this game. A similar game that kind of has like a mechanic like this is Hades. That's a really weird comparison, but it's true. And I do like it, but it also feels like getting to high rounds is less skill dependent and it's more power up based, which that has kind of been the case since Black Ops 3, ever since Gobblegums were introduced. So it's kind of whatever. And that's just kind of like a personal gripe I have. It's not anything that takes away from my experience too much. It's just kind of a different formula and a different gameplay loop slightly, which isn't a bad thing. Some people might be looking for that. Overall, I'm going to give Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, the zombie section, is going to get an 8 out of 10. This is really good. I don't think it's as good as something like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, or Black Ops 1 Zombies because those are classic, but it is definitely a step up from Black Ops 4 and Black Ops Cold War. It is right under Black Ops 3 in my opinion. It is really, really fun, and if you've been a long-term zombies player, it is definitely worth it to jump on and play zombies on Black Ops 6 because it's so nice to return, man. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the multiplayer. Alright, so the biggest thing to talk about with multiplayer is going to be the maps and the Omni movement. Okay, a lot of people are out here complaining about the maps, and I do agree, there are a ton of garbage maps. Okay, there are a lot of garbage maps in this game, unfortunately, but there are some really good ones. There are some really, really good maps. There's, you know, a lot more bad maps than there is good maps, but when you get a good map, it is a lot of fun and it plays really, really well. The bad maps, like it's like that typical new gen Call of Duty thing where they're kind of straying away from the 3-lane system, and it just doesn't work. You know, there's all sorts of spots for head glitching and just all sorts of cheese. And the Omni movement is a weird factor into the maps and the spawns and all of that as well. A lot of people are saying that the spawns in this game are messed up. I don't think the spawns themselves are messed up in this game. I think a big reason why a lot of people are having a lot of issues with the spawns is due to how fast people are moving around the map. And I'm not saying that they need to nerf it or anything. They just need to do some tweaking with the spawning, but it's not that the spawns are bad. It's that people can fly around the map at insane speeds, which is a lot of fun in my opinion. And I really hated something like the new Modern Warfare 2 reboot where they slowed everyone down and everyone was all heavy and slow. That was really lame. I like how arcadey it feels and I like the Omni movement. It is so smooth, but everybody is flying around the map like an absolute madman, and you know, the spawns are just constantly changing and getting all messed up because everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off. But it's great. It's a lot of fun and it's super arcadey. It is frustrating, you know, it's got the classic Call of Duty cheese, and that's going to be, you know, coming with every single Call of Duty game. I think the multiplayer is pretty decent. I do think a lot of the maps do need to be like changed, to be completely honest, because some of these maps like Red Card, for example, they're just abysmal. But one thing that's super nice about that is they brought back map voting, so you can vote for maps. I don't know if that's been in any recent CODs. To my knowledge and my memory, it hasn't, but map voting is back. So once the community kind of figures out what maps are really good, obviously people are going to vote for the good maps. And obviously we're getting Nuketown back, classic. That's always an amazing map to play. It's a staple for Treyarch at this point. Now a lot of people are out here saying that the camo grind is easy and it's too simple. I actually really like the camo grind. this year, all right? It's not super complicated, and you're not going to have to sit there and grind unnecessary tasks for, that dark matter camo. It's basically just get 100 headshots with every single gun and then do like two specific challenges to that, archetype of weapon or whatever, and then you get gold, then you get gold diamond, and then, so on and so forth. It's super simple. I like it a lot because you can actually focus more on the core elements of multiplayer, like playing for objective and, just playing to, fight other people online, and you don't have to sit there worrying about sitting a certain distance away from your target so you can get long shots. You know what I mean? Like, it's really good. I like the camo grind this year. It is a lot more simple, and it is easier, yes, but it's not a chore to do, and it is actually really, really fun. And the camos look great this year, in my opinion, as well. I want to add on to that by talking about the prestige system as well. The prestige system is done so well here. It is very true to the OG prestige system. I like it a lot. Not much to say, it's prestiging in Call of Duty. I'm glad it's back. It's fantastic, That's a big piece of Call of Duty, and it's great. The prestiging is great in this game. So I think I'm going to give multiplayer around a 6.5 out of 10, okay? And a lot of you guys think that's a bad score. That's not a bad score. That means it's good. That means it's good. But there's flaws. There's clear flaws. I think the main thing for me giving it a 6.5 out of 10 is the fact that there's more bad maps than there are good maps. You know what I mean? And that takes away from the experience sometimes. And that could change moving forward because they can add new maps, and if those maps are good, it'd be great. I'm sure we're going to see some remastered Black Ops maps, so moving forward that might change, but right now at launch I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about the campaign last. The campaign is something that I was super interested in. I'm always a sucker for a good campaign. All right, now I have not finished this campaign. I'm about halfway through, but I'm not going to lie, from what I've seen so far and from what I've seen, with people talking about it, I think that this might be one of the best Call of Duty campaigns we've ever gotten. All right, that's controversial. Some people hate this campaign. I haven't finished it yet, but right now, dude, this campaign is kind of awesome. Like, this is really good. First things first here, we have a lot of new mechanics at play that they've experimented with in recent Call of Duty campaigns, the whole idea of having multiple paths and multiple choices to make. That's something they did in Cold War. And here, they are done super well, and it makes a lot of the missions really fleshed out with this world that this is taking place in. It is super cool. I'm not going to lie, as well, like the production value here is so good. I mean, the facial animations and the cutscenes are top-notch quality, and it still feels like an over-the-top Call of Duty campaign, more specifically a Call of Duty Black Ops campaign, yet there's a lot of new mechanics here at play that add to this experience. This is truly a treat if you like any narrative-driven games, or if you like, Call of Duty campaigns. I love Call of Duty campaigns, and this is probably one of the best I have played so far. All right, this is a crazy narrative. Obviously, the GOAT Frank Woods is back. It takes place during a super interesting time period as well. This is a really good campaign. Now, should you go out and buy the game for the campaign alone? I don't think you should, in my opinion, just because it's not going to offer as much content as the other modes. But if you're able to snag this off Game Pass or something, or you snag it on sale for like $15, I do think that this is a great experience. All right, this is something that, if you can get your hands on for cheap, if you just want to play the campaign, get it on Game Pass, whatever, this is definitely worth the play. It's a crazy cool experience. I like it a lot. All right, this is probably one of the best campaigns I've ever played. I've said that before. I'm going to give the campaign here a 9 out of 10, dude. A 9 out of 10. This is a Call of Duty campaign at its best, and it's really nice to see this from Call of Duty in the 2020s. I feel like the last pretty good campaign I played was Modern Warfare 2019. Once again, that was a really cool campaign as well. Cold War had a good one, but it was kind of flawed in some areas. It was also really short. I think this is a good length for a Call of Duty campaign. But like I said before, if you're going to buy this for the campaign alone, I'd be a little hesitant. All right. Wrapping this up here, I want to go ahead and add on to some criticisms just overall in the game and the gameplay. Mainly bugs. Okay, I have ran into a few bugs. For example, I was playing Liberty Falls going for a high round, and I slid into the bowling alley, and I was on like the bowling ball rack or whatever, and I got caught and I got stuck there and I couldn't move, and it kind of broke my game and I had to end it. Kind of sucked, especially because I was going for high rounds. There's also a score streak glitch on Liberty Falls right now as well, where like when you go down you can't use score streaks, and those are pretty important. That was frustrating to deal with. And I was also trying to do the Terminus Easter egg, and that glitched out for me. You know, pretty frustrating there as well. Pretty annoying there. That's gonna have to, you know, be accounted for in the final score for this game. And one other thing I want to talk about is the fact that this is, yes, going to have battle passes. Kind of frustrating, especially because if you're playing on PlayStation or something, you got to pay like $70, and then you got to, you know, buy a battle pass if you're into that. That's kind of lame. I feel like that should be free content. There is a lot of free content coming, so I guess it kind of nullifies it. You know, the new Zombies map coming out is supposedly going to be free, so that's a plus. So as long as microtransactions stay, you know, cosmetic only, I can live with it. But if they start having like pay to win gobble gums and things like that, and it's gonna get out of hand fast. I don't think they'll go down that route because you'll kind of get crucified nowadays for that. But yeah, just something I wanted to talk about as well. So let's go ahead and get into the final score here. All right, I'm gonna give Call of Duty Black Ops 6 a 7 out of 10. Okay, it's a good game. I'm not gonna lie, this is a good Call of Duty game. It's a lot of fun, and if you're into all three of the modes, you're gonna get a lot of content and a lot of hours out of this over the span of like a year when they add a bunch of new stuff, especially for zombies. I'm mainly playing this game for zombies, and if you are looking for a fun zombies experience, I would say get this game. Alright, you get a good campaign with it and a good zombies. The multiplayer, it's okay. It's good if you are really hardcore about multiplayer in Call of Duty. I'm not at this point. I do think that the best mode here is the campaign, and then zombies. You know, I think if you're really into both of those, it's definitely worth getting 100%. And obviously, if you guys are on Xbox, definitely take advantage of Xbox Game Pass, because you can play this on Xbox Game Pass right now. This is probably, you know, one of the best deals in gaming right now to be able to play this on Game Pass. So if you have it on Game Pass, dude, play this game. At least give the campaign a shot. It's super good. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up my thoughts on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I do think that it's a good game at the end of the day, regardless of all the mixed opinions. And I mean, hopefully you guys took everything I said and thought about everything I said. And you know, if you disagree with me, comment down below. I'm happy to hear what your guys' thoughts as well. But so far, like, this is a fun game, and this is a step in the right direction for Call of Duty. All right, they've always been a controversial franchise, but if I'm being unbiased here, like, I haven't liked Call of Duty in the 2020s like at all. I'm having fun with this one, and I do think it's a step in the right direction. So yeah, 7 out of 10 I think is a good rating. But if you guys do like these videos, make sure to drop a like and a subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.